TVs allowing them to take off their masks outside now.
That's amazing. And
Yeah, actually, there probably should be tape on every other on this side. Oh, no, on this side.
exactly, as long as you're in a row where it's not taken
But
off, then
over here, it's,
no, you retake it. So, and then,
everyone. Welcome. It's so good to be with you all. We'll start in about 5 minutes. Shabbat Shalom. I know, it's really nice. There's like 20 people tonight. It's the most we've had in a little while.
Oh. Ah, that's why. Okay. Couldn't figure out why I couldn't stop. All right, gentlemen. It is 4 minutes to 6. Havana Shira, Havana Shira, Havana Shira, let us sing. Havana Shira, Havana Shira, Havana Shira, let us sing. Come, let us sing. Come, let us sing. Come, let us sing. Havana Shira. Come, let us sing. Come, let us sing. Come, let us sing. Come, let us sing. Havana Shira. Havana Shira. Havana Shira, Havana Shira, let us sing. Havana Shira, Havana Shira, Havana Shira, let us sing.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi.
I don't know if everyone online can see, but we have a nice crowd in the sanctuary tonight, and it is such a blessing to be able to see all of your beautiful faces, at least from here up, and for all of you who are online to be able to see and be with every one of you is truly a blessing as well. Together in community, we truly can feel, I think, the presence of God. We can feel something that is really holy when we are together as one. And so tonight we are going to, hold on one second. Yeah, we are going to welcome in Shabbat by lighting our candles over here. And I'd like to call up Renee Simon Gormley to lead us in this blessing.
Thank you again. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who've kindled the light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. Now, take two. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu v'mitzvotanu, v'tzidanu v'halavnei shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Amen.
Shabbat shalom. Thank you, Renee.
Thank you, Renee. We continue our service by lending our voices to these prayers of welcoming in the beauty of Shabbat.
How great it is for brothers and sisters to hang out on this day. Hine mato umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. How great it is for brothers and sisters to hang out on this day. E-O, E-O, O-O. שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומנעים. שבת אחים גם יחד, איו, איו, how great it is for brothers and sisters to hang out on this lovely day. How great it is for brothers and sisters to hang out on this day. Hine mato umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. How great it is for brothers and sisters to hang out on this day. E-O, E-O, O-O. לכו נרננה לאדוני, נריע לצור ישענו. לכו נרננה לאדוני, נריע לצור ישענו. נקדמה פנה בתודה, בזמירות נריע לו, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני, נריע לצור ישנו, כי אל גדול אדוני, ומלך גדול על כל אלוהים. לכו נרננה לאדוני, נריע לצור ישנו.
We prepare for L'cha Dodi, welcoming in the Shabbat bride, and as we prepare to welcome in the Shabbat bride, so too do we turn to one another and welcome one another for being here in this space, welcome one another online with words of shalom, words of gratitude for being in sacred community.
Ya la 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 L'cha Dodi, ya la 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 לקראת קלה, ya la 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 פני שבת נקבלה. Ya la 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 L'cha Dodi, ya la 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 לקראת קלה, ya la 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 פני שבת נקבלה. Ya la 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 L'cha Dodi, ya la 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 לקראת קלה, ya la 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 פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, בשם מול תפארת ולתהילה. יא לה 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 L'cha Dodi, יא לה 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 לקראת קלה, יא לה 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 פני שבת נקבלה. יא לה 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 L'cha Dodi, יא לה 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 לקראת קלה, יא לה 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 פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. יא לה 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 L'cha Dodi, יא לה 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 לקראת קלה, יא לה 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 פני שבת נקבלה. יא לה 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 L'cha Dodi, יא לה 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 לקראת קלה, יא לה 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 פני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. יא לה 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 L'cha Dodi, יא לה 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 לקראת קלה, יא לה 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 פני שבת נקבלה. יא לה 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 L'cha Dodi, יא לה 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 לקראת קלה, יא לה 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 פני שבת נקבלה.
O God, you are as near as the very air we breathe and sing, yet further than the farthest most star. We yearn to reach you. We seek the light and warmth of your presence. Though we say you are near, we are lonely and alone. Oh, let our desire be so strong that it will tear the veil that keeps you from our sight. Let your light release our darkness and reveal the glory and joy of your presence. We join together with the call to worship, the Baruch Hu.
Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai, yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai Mevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Le'olam Va'ed. Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidbaro ma'ariv aravim bechokma poteach she'arim. God of creation, who makes the evening fall from light into darkness with the setting of the sun. You unfold the heavens with brilliant moon and stars and wrap our souls with peace. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidbaro ma'ariv aravim bechokma poteach she'arim. Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv aravim.
Love beyond all space and time. Your love enfolds your people, Yisrael. We receive it in your teaching, your gift of Torah, sacred obligations, discipline, and law. So let us speak these teachings when we lie down and when we rise up, and find joy forever in your Torah and mitzvot. They are the very essence of our life, ours to ponder and study all of our days. May we always feel your love. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, who loves your people Israel.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed, Le'olam Va'ed. And you shall love Adonai with all your soul and all your mind. Teach these words through day and night to all your children, for it's their right. And wear them proudly as a sign upon your hand, and as a crown above your eyes. And you shall write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates throughout all time. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Adonai Echad. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught. Before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it's eternally Egypt. That there's a better place, a promised land, and the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness. That there's no easy way to get from here to there, except by joining hands and marching together and singing Yai la la la, la la la, la la. Yai la la la, la la. Singing Yai la la la, ya la la, la la. Yai la la la, la la. Moshe Miriam ובני ישראל לחנו שירה בשמחה רבה ויאמרו כולם יאי לה 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 Yai la 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 la, singing yai la 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 la. כמוך נהדר בקודש, מי כמוך נהדר. נורא התהילות עושה פלא, עושה פלא. נורא התהילות עושה פלא, עושה פלא. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה. זה אלי, זה אלי, זה אלי, ענו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים, אדוני, מי כמוך באלים, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש.
Inside the human heart is fear. There is also hope. The two wrestle constantly, like Jacob and his God. Sometimes one prevails, sometimes the other. The struggle is sometimes silent, the other times loud. But it is constant fear, hope, flashes of light and shadow twirling inside us all the time. It is so much easier when there is love. When love is in your life, it becomes the context for it all. Love is the measure of a life well lived. It is the beacon of possibility. When you love, the fear is less harsh. Hope is a bit stronger.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu, leshalom. Ve'ha'amidenu, shomreinu lechayim. Ufros aleinu, sukat shlomecha. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu, leshalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם לתולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם לתולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. וביום השביעי שבת וינבש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם לתולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את
We turn to the Amidah on page 164. Pray as if everything depended on God, act as if everything depended on you. I invite you to rise in body or in spirit.
Adonai Satai Tiftach, Adonai Satai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha, Ufi Yagid Adonai Svatai Tiftach, Adonai Svatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha, Ufi Yagid Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu ve'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן העם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please take a few moments for your personal prayers and meditations, and when you feel ready to do so, you may be seated.
שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. כי אתה הוא מלך אדום לכל השלום, כי אתה הוא מלך אדום לכל השלום, כי אתה הוא מלך אדום לכל השלום, כי אתה הוא מלך אדום לכל השלום. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל, וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל, וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל, וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל. בכל עת ובכל שעה, בכל עת ובכל שעה, בכל עת ובכל שעה, בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם ברוך אתה המברך את עמו ישראל המברך את עמו ישראל
That's hard to follow. So I want to offer a teaching based on this week's Torah portion, Vayishlach, which happens to be one of my favorite portions in the Torah. And perhaps as I talk about it, you'll understand a little bit of why that is. After 20 years apart, Esau and Jacob prepare to meet one another. The air is thick with anxiety as Jacob's family approaches, sending gifts ahead as a sign of remorse for Jacob's youthful acts of stealing Esau's birthright and blessing. The brothers each on their own wonder if reconciliation between them is truly possible after such hurt, such division, and such fear. After a night of struggle, Jacob sees his brother in the distance. And as he comes near, he bows before him 7 times, displaying humility. But as he looks into his brother's eyes, he cannot help it. He runs to greet him, embraces him, and kisses him. The brothers are taken aback by the emotion that's coursing through their bodies as they weep in each other's arms. Perhaps reconciliation is possible after all. Jacob and Esau's estrangement had been an intense one. If they could forgive one another, perhaps this gives hope to the many Americans, to the many people whose relationships are torn or strained. In preparation for his book, Fault Lines, Fractured Families and How to Mend Them, Kail conducted a national study in which he asked people if there was a relative with whom they had no contact. 27% of the responders said that they had, and half of those had been estranged for more than 4 years. Dr. Pillemer and his team conducted interviews with many people. Some remained estranged throughout the 5-year research project, and others reconciled. In discussing his research, Pillemer notes that there's no substantial difference between the stories of those who moved past their difference and those who did not. They were remarkably similar in what caused the estrangement, how upsetting it was, and how long it had gone on, he explained. If I showed you accounts of how the estrangement occurred and how difficult it was, you wouldn't be able to distinguish between those who eventually reconciled and those who haven't, he said. He explained that sometimes a family reconciled because of a situation that changed or a person that had changed. Now, in the case of Esau and Jacob, this was most certainly true. Jacob had matured. He was no longer the selfish child who didn't think twice before hurting his brother. He was now a father and a husband, a man who believed in the importance of keeping his word. In fact, when Laban tricked him into promising to work for 14 years for the privilege of marrying Rachel, Jacob didn't attempt to trick to get out of it. Jacob kept his word and did work for that entire time. Esau, too, had changed. He was no longer the impulsive, hurt, angry child that once he was. He, too, had become a father, and he had learned what it meant to be forgiving. There is an even more important factor, I believe, involved in reconciliation, which is a desire to reconnect. Pillamer explains that many of the reconciliations in his study occurred because people decided that it was time, that they no longer wanted to hold anger or fear, that they recognized how short life was, and they didn't want to live it without people who had once had an important part in their lives. Jacob and Esau approached one another filled with uncertainty and fear, but also with hope and with compassion for one another. They looked into each other's eyes, and in them they saw not an enemy, but what was there, a brother. To see your face, Jacob told Esau, is to see the face of God. For over 20 years, Jacob's only connection with Esau was in his memory, in what he chose to remember. But in this moment, he looked into his brother and said, "In your face, I see the face of God." There's a rabbinic teaching, a rabbinic debate, actually, because everything is debate, of course. And there's this rabbinic debate about how is it that we know that it's time for the morning prayer. When you can distinguish the blue strings from the white ones, one sage answers. When you can tell the difference between a wolf and a dog, said another. Or a domesticated donkey from a wild donkey. In each case, all of these rabbis suggested that we can only pray when we could see well enough to distinguish between the differences among us. But finally, another rabbi spoke up and said, we can only pray when it is bright enough that even from a distance, we can see the face of a friend. With this text, the rabbis teach us a powerful lesson. It's impossible to offer a prayer until we can see a friend in the face of a human being. And so too was it impossible for Jacob and Esau to truly reconcile until they were willing, until they were able to look into one another's face and see what was divine and what was human in them. Jacob recognized the similarities between him and Esau, and he honored both the humility and the divine in his brother. And Esau responded in kind. Esau said, "Let us start on our journey, and I will proceed at your pace." At your pace, he said. Esau had asked Jacob to travel side by side with him. As Rashi explains, Esau was willing to slow down his pace as much as necessary to make it possible for the brothers to walk side by side, arm in arm. Perhaps Esau noticed that Jacob had been limping after a recent injury. Perhaps Esau understood that Jacob's mighty entourage traveled a little slower than his own. "No problem," Esau said. "Our connection is far more important to me than anything else." The 19th century Rabbi Yaakov Tzvi Mackenber taught that Esau wished to walk with his brother. Why? So that they could share stories with one another. As the writer Peter Forbes explains, stories create community, enable us to see through the eyes of other people, and open us to the claims of others. Through telling their stories, these brothers could not only see the good in one another, but they could also come to understand one another. Now, Jacob and Esau, they had a truly tragic and painful beginning, but they didn't allow their stories to end there. They decided to place aside their pride, to look into one another's eyes, and to take the time to listen to their stories. And they were better for it. So too, at this time where we prepare to gather around Thanksgiving tables, perhaps with people we haven't seen in quite some time, perhaps with people we get along very well, and those who maybe we don't quite so much, that maybe at these moments we can look into the eyes of every individual around the table and around that Zoom screen, and we can truly see the face of God. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may this be God's will. Right now in community, what I want to do is take a moment to offer a prayer of healing for everyone in need of healing of mind, healing of body, and healing of spirit. And for all of you who are on Facebook, for all of you who are on Zoom, I invite you to write the names in the chat of anyone who is in need of healing that you're thinking of right now. And I also would like to go around the room so that everyone here can have a chance to say out loud the name of anyone they're holding in their hearts.
Be Varen.
Jerry Simon, that way.
We're also thinking Sarah Gill and Jennifer Hamburg-Roski, Mitch Rosen, Patricia Smith, William, Sunny Felberg, Josh Montgomery, Susie and Cassie Felberg, and Lynn Perry, Sam Morris, Marty Freed, Rick Ziddenfield, Terry, Marty Spiegel, Beth, Paige, Daniel, Pam, Howard and Susan Reese, Gina, Patrick, Leslie, Mike and Barbara, Steffi, Shirley, Ann, Amy, Peter, Sarah, all in our hearts. Laverna Edmonds, Susan Brooks and Hannah Brooks, and everyone else who we hold, may everyone who we mention, everyone who we are keeping silently in our hearts, may all of them find a quick and speedy and complete recovery.
אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, שרה, רבקה, רחל ולאה, הוא יברך וירפא את החולים. מי שברך אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, ואימותינו שרה, רבקה, רחל ולאה, הוא יברך וירפא את החולים. In the words of Moshe Rabbeinu we pray, אל נא רפנה, El Narefana, La, God, please heal them. El Narefana, El Narefana. Mishaberach אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, שרה, רבקה, רחל ולאה, הוא יברך וירפא את ברוך אתה אדוני רופא החולים. Blessed are you, God, whose healing presence is with all of those in need. And we all say, Amen.
Amen. We have another really important prayer tonight to say as well. Because I hope you didn't think lighting candles was the only thing we were going to do tonight, because that's definitely not the case. Because Renee, how many years have you been a member of the temple?
I've been coming here for 25 years. I've been a member for 18, I believe 18.
You've been part of the family for 25 years. And Renee is about to go move to Florida. This is not the end. We will see her again, but we're sure going to miss you within this sanctuary. And so we'd like to offer you a blessing as you prepare to go on your way. God told Abraham, "Lech lecha, go forth." And Abraham left this land and his home to go to the lands that God would show him. To leave what we know and to seek God is the story of our people. Lech lecha is now your story. It is time for you now to get ready to go from your home, from this temple community that will always be a home for you, from those here who care for you in this place. We have all journeyed together through laughter and tears, with sorrow. All of us, as a community, we send you on your way, grateful for the time that you have spent among us and for the many gifts that you have shared with us. As you follow in footsteps of Abraham and Sarah, we pray that God will guide you on the way. May your journey bring you so many blessings, and may you never be a stranger, because you are always welcome here online or in person. We wish you lech lecha. And what we're going to offer you is a blessing that is traditionally said, a blessing for travel.
It's a blessing that you've sung many times in this temple. As we ended some of our healing services with this blessing, and we send you off with this blessing from all of us. May you be blessed as you go on your way. May you be guided in peace. May you be blessed with health and joy. May this be your blessing. Amen. 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 May this be your blessing. Amen. By the wings of peace, may you be kept in safety and in love. May grace and compassion find their way to every soul. May this be your blessing. Amen.
actually have one more blessing for you as well. This is a blessing for your new home that we hope that you will enjoy and be able to put up and remember your TBE family and look upon it and have that home filled with many, many blessings. I'll give it to you right after the service. So you can come up right now and I'll be happy to give it to you as well. I know it's always a sad thing when someone who's a part of our family moves, but it's also a great thing because I think you have such wonderful adventures ahead of you. So it's wonderful. We turn to Aleinu, and I invite everyone to rise in body or in spirit as we offer this prayer.
It's up to us to call ourselves to task, to sing what's good and true, to bring about redemption. It's what we were freed to do. For what's the point of being here if we're not moved to change our ways? Aleinu leshabeach. It's time to live our praise. It's up to us to own the vision. We are an answer to a call. It's up to us to live the words we speak for the benefit of all. It's up to us to bow down deeply. There's a broken world to raise. Aleinu leshabeach. It's time to live our praise. Aleinu leshabeach. It's time to live our praise. Vanachnu koreim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo
The light of life is a finite flame. Like the Shabbat candles, life is kindled, it burns, it glows, it is radiant with warmth and beauty. But soon it fades, its substance is consumed, and it is no more. In light we see, in light we are seen. The flames dance and our life burns down and gutters. There is an end to the flames. We see no more and are no more seen, yet we do not despair. For we are more than a memory, fading into the darkness. With our lives we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of light and life. This Shabbat, we are remembering Trinity Donius, who has died within the past few weeks. We're observing the yahrzeits of Linda Allenstein, Jenny Baum, David Bernstein, Elizabeth Bernstein, Rose Bitkoff-Rogoff, Jessie Block, Jean Boone, Edith Briskin, Minnie Brown, Isadora Cohn, Elise Beth Colombo, Mildred Corwin, Isadore Davidow, Evelyn Davis, Matilda Dyke, Lillian Eidelstein, Leon Feiner, Leonard Fishman, Robert Friedman, Harry Ginsberg, Herman Goldberg, Rose Goldstein, Peter Greenberg, Ira Lester Grishaver. John Hargis, Florence Hebert, Max Hockman, Lillian Hulbert, William Hurwitz, Ruth Joseph, Harry Kandel, Rose Kaplan, Sydney Keschner, Paul Kraus, Rita Land, Jesse Liebman, Jacob Wolf Lippenholtz, Linda Manuel Stein, Arthur Melzer, Rebecca Millman, Howard Mittman, Sybil Morris, Sylvia Moss, Thomas Michael Neely, Margie Iselin Passman, Irving Pilchik, Rose Pogorelski, Samuel Pogorelski, Belle Rezin, Esther Rosenthal, Annette Grumman Schultz, Pauline Schenk, Arlene Spector, Henry Steidler, Bernice Weintraub, Harry Zeid, and Sandra Zeigler. We remember every one of these souls as we offer the Mourner's Kaddish on page 598. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'amad yivrach cherotei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon, uv'chayei dekol beit Yisrael, ba'gala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivrach le'olam olamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yinaseh. V'yitzadar v'yitzaleh v'yitzhalal shmei dekudisha barichu. Le'ilam min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechamata. Damiram pe'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'romav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories always be a blessing, and together let us say,
Amen. Say shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, amen. Yalla la 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 la, yalla yalla la, yalla la 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 la, yalla la 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 la, yalla la 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 la, yalla yalla la, yalla la 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 la, yalla la 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 la. Oh say shalom bimromav, oh yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, and I invite you to be seated for just a second, just so that we can hear a few announcements of some wonderful things going on in the temple, and I want to invite up Linda to offer these announcements to us.
Well, I have to say it is such a joy to be here. I invite everybody who isn't here physically to consider coming. If you go to our website, it tells you to open your doors and open the doors and feel the warmth of the congregation, and you just have to be here to feel it. So I invite you to come. There's lots of room, and I know Carrie makes sure that there's plenty places available. You have to check in. I mean, it's really formal. So please come. Sorry, I just had to say that. It was such a joy to be here, really. So I'll start with the formal greetings. It is really my pleasure tonight to be here representing the Temple Beth Board of Directors. I would like to share a few upcoming announcements with you. Tomorrow at 10 a.m., please join Cantor Ilan and Pam Tarlow for our monthly meditation service, which includes Shabbat morning liturgy, chants, and guided meditation. This Sunday, we have two wonderful virtual opportunities for you to join. First, at 1 p.m., the Union for Reform Judaism and the Musar Institute are hosting a program about the Musar traditions teaching about Hanukkah. Please refer to your weekly emails for the registration link. Then at 5, you do not want to miss an incredible evening of Hanukkah classical music presented by the Judaic Sacred Music Foundation. The composer of this program is our own phenomenally talented accompanist, Bob Remstein. So thank you, Bob. Yeah. You will also find the registration link to this program in your weekly emails. And I'm pleased to share with you that our Sisterhood Hanukkah gift shop is open now for all your holiday shopping needs. You probably noticed it when you walked in. You can shop this Sunday between 11:30 and 12:30 p.m. Or you can make an appointment with Carrie to shop at a different time. And please let me take a moment to wish all of you a very happy and festive Thanksgiving. I hope your holiday is filled with good health and meaningful time with family and friends. And I wish all of you a peaceful Shabbat Shalom. And with Renee, did we want to say something special?
I already did that.
Okay, all right, all right. Happy Thanksgiving, thank you.
Thank you, and what a delight it has been to be here with Jake Jacobs on drums. What a treat that has been, and of course, Bob Remstein so beautifully leading us with music from the piano. Thank you all for being here, for sharing your spirit. For everyone who is online, hang out, please. Stay around, because we want to put you in breakout rooms so that you can enjoy an Oneg Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.